And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Sunday, April 13th, 2025. And the headlines here across Alaska on this Sunday afternoon: strong, gusty southeasterly winds will be pushing through south central areas tonight. There's a bit of a pressure wave coming through with an area of low pressure that's going to be kind of reorganizing over the western Gulf, so we can expect some stronger winds. I'll talk about that. Should not be a long duration event. And then some locally heavier snow showers, maybe a rumble of thunder along areas of the northern Gulf Coast from, say, Seward, eastern Kenai around Prince William Sound is possible too, as the air aloft is going to be colder and a bit more unstable. And then it looks like in the upcoming week, another North Pacific low will come out that way, impact the Alaska Peninsula, and then move up into the Gulf, similar to what has happened since late last week in the current system we're dealing with right now. And it looks like intermittent active weather will continue along the Gulf into the Panhandle through the end of the month. So not a whole lot of change to the pattern. Down here, down along the Alaska Peninsula, the south end, False Pass, as well as places around like King Cove and that, windy and wet snow, 34 degrees. A winter weather advisory is in effect for those areas. And then Kodiak also picking up wet snow and 34 with a winter weather advisory. And Seward, nimbostratus clouds, meaning rain or snow producing clouds there. You can see the darkness. You're going to have those snow showers moving in, especially later tonight and for Monday morning. Some of those could be on the heavy side with gusty winds. 45 degrees though there, Seward. And Cape Spencer on the other side of the Gulf, rainy and breezy, 40 degrees. And we are expecting some gusty winds there along the Gulf Coast and toward the outer Panhandle coming up. But here's what we got going on right now. First, let's deal with this area, south end of the Alaska Peninsula, Sandpoint down through False Pass, Cold Bay. These areas are going to have yet wet, moderate to heavy snow begin to taper off this evening. So that advisory is in effect till at least 6 p.m. Could it be extended? Perhaps. Then we have winter weather advisory for Kodiak Island, and that'll be in effect into Monday morning for 3 to as much as 8 inches of snow. Similar to what is expected here. But as the system, the low pressure, sits over here, it's also going to send a wave of heavier snow showers and gusty winds northward. So areas of the eastern Kenai along Prince William Sound out toward Kayak Island, this area here could see a burst of some snow showers later tonight, early Monday morning, along with some gusty winds, maybe even a rumble of thunder, because as this low pressure system kind of pivots up into the western Gulf and then heads east, there is colder air aloft winding in around this system. It's rather dynamic. And then as that little pressure wave lifts northward, we expect stronger southeast winds here through Turnagain Arm, Palmer, Knit River Basin, Copper River Basin. We could see some winds 30, 40 miles an hour, very common, gusts like that. But some of these places, Anchorage, Upper Hillside, Eagle River, could see wind gusts as high as 60 miles an hour as the result of this system lifting northward. It's not going to last long, maybe a couple few hours of some stronger gusty winds. And then there is a wind advisory for the Alaska Range in the vicinity of Isabel Pass, especially north of Trim's Camp down through Black Rapids. South winds could gust as high as 40 to maybe 55 miles an hour. And then looking at the threat of avalanches today, this Sunday, we've had a high threat of avalanches here along the eastern Kenai at Turnagain Pass and Moose Pass, Summit Lake. Considerable avalanche danger, as is the areas around Valdez and up through Thompson Pass. And this trend will continue because we've had a little warmer temperatures and additional snow load has occurred along these areas. So again, dangerous time to be out in the backcountry trying to do any sort of skiing or snow machining in the late season. So another update here has to do with the spring breakup outlook issued by the River Forecast Center on Friday. So I'll step out of the way. Still not a whole lot has changed. The potential for spring, that's the ice breakup and the subsequent snowmelt flooding, varies significantly across the state. Above average potential exists in the interior, including the Yukon, Tanana, Chena, Koyukuk rivers, and some of the North Slope basins due to the higher than normal snowpack. And then for areas further south, below average breakup potential exists for the lower Yukon and Kuskokwim basins and most of south central due to very low snowpack caused by the warmer than normal winter. But we update these, the River Forecast Center updates these at least once a week and more frequently if things get more active. And looking at the satellite imagery, boy, you can see this is from this morning, and then as we put it into motion, piece of energy rotating was back here. There was the low here, and now it's rotating. This is the mid-level, strong low, going to pull through. Notice the convective cloud pattern. That's what could produce some flashes of lightning and rumble thunder as it pivots up here into the western Gulf. It's producing some locally heavier snow showers here, the south end of the Alaska Peninsula, and as we get up here along the Gulf Coast, we could potentially have some other heavier snow showers moving into that area later tonight, along with those gusty winds. Kodiak Island is going to pick up several inches of snow and gusty winds tonight into Monday morning. So this is an active pattern, and we have a feed of moisture that goes all the way up across Haida Gwaii, British Columbia coast. This is a rather broad system that I was talking about well in advance. Well, we have a similar one that's going to try to take shape here this coming week. So before we get into all that, here's first things first. So the two lows that we're kind of sitting here are going to consolidate into one. That's going to create gustier winds from the southeast coming through Turnagain Arm, Anchorage, Upper Hillside, Eagle River. Some gusts may be as high as 60 miles an hour. And then those stronger winds will also pull up into the Alaska Range later tonight and during the morning for Monday. And again, snow showers wrapping in around, because this is a colder upper level system above this surface low. So that's why you could see some the accumulating snows here across Kodiak Island. And then as we get into Monday afternoon, that low still sitting there, but beginning to lose strength. Here comes the hints of the next low down in the North Pacific. And as we get into Tuesday afternoon, what was left of the initial system lifting north and eastward, we have a scattering of snow showers or mixed rain and snow showers, northwest Canada, lingering in areas of the Panhandle, back even into the lower middle Yukon Valley. But here comes the next surge of moisture, and this low Wednesday afternoon, we're looking at snow on the backside. There could be some snow, accumulating snow in eastern Aleutians. It'll be a close call, still a little too early to determine. But this front, as it lifts north, there'll be rain along the Alaska Peninsula up into the western Gulf, and along with some more gusty winds. So this is, again, a similar pattern, and it's going to stay active like that, where lows come out of the North Pacific and then up into the Gulf. So if you're along the Alaska Peninsula, Gulf Coast into the Panhandle, you're just going to see these occasional systems up through the end of the month. Temperatures maybe not quite as cold as what they were a couple weeks ago, but still the potential for some snow, especially the inner coastal mountains, and then coastal areas getting wind and rain. And here's the temperatures. They have come up. Notice last week when we had the sub-zero readings, 20 below or so. Single digits now along the Arctic coast, Utqiagvik down toward Shishmaref. Though Shishmaref was down to 9 below zero for the state's low this Sunday morning. We have lows near 40, outer southern Panhandle, just a bit below freezing as you get up toward Talkeetna, but Anchorage Bowl with the winds coming in should stay just above freezing. Highs Monday afternoon, optimistic getting back up into the 40s if we can dry out and get maybe a few peaks of sun. But again, with this low sitting in place, it's kind of a cool pattern. Temperatures along the Panhandle in the 40s to maybe near 50, Klawak and Metlakatla up to the north. Generally in the teens along the North Slope and Arctic coast, 30 at St. Paul, and readings in the mid-30s there, above freezing there in the eastern Aleutians. And then for Tuesday morning lows, generally single digits. There could be a few areas near or a bit below zero, but generally single digits above zero in the far north Arctic slope, spine of the Brooks Range down into the western Seward Peninsula. Lows near 40, southern Panhandle. Maybe near freezing here around Anchorage Bowl and Kenai. And then for Tuesday afternoon, we're expecting some 40s up along areas of the Tanana Valley, Yukon Flats, maybe getting back up into the mid-40s here from Anchorage and west side of the Kenai up through the Mat-Su Valley. and then 40s, generally speaking, maybe an isolated 50-degree reading in the Panhandle. So here's the temperature forecast, the extended outlook, April 19th through the 23rd. Temperatures are expected to average below normal over the Panhandle and extending a bit back here into the southeast corner here of the mainland. Otherwise, temperatures should start to get above normal here across the Aleutians up into the lower, especially Alaska Peninsula. And precipitation-wise, it's just not letting up here in through the central interior. The place all winter long that has just had above normal precipitation, snowpack. That's why we're concerned about this region for breakup, because there's an above average potential for there to be notable ice jam flooding and the snowmelt flooding. But it's looking like precipitation could average above normal across a fair portion of the mainland, April 19th through the 23rd, centered on the middle Yukon Valley.